I was shocked by how quickly the law enforcement officers were fired, because that's a decision made by other law enforcement officers, and they typically back each other up. And I'm learning a lot about the police chief here, who seems to have the support of the community, with the first black police chief of Minnesota. So it's a big deal. I'm reminded of what Malcolm X said about progress. If you stick a knife in my back and pull it out 6 inches, it's not progress. You pull it out all the way, it's still not progress. Healing it, providing restitution for the injury is progress. The American policing culture is out of control. And so firing 4 cops that murdered somebody on video is not progress. It represents an improvement to a really broken culture. Still rather quickly, we're working simultaneously the Ahmaud Arbery case. It took 3 months to get any arrest in that case. And so to see a police officer arrested despite the charge is significant. I didn't see him in chains. I didn't see him a perp walk. I still haven't seen his mugshot. And I represent the family. You would think I would see some of those things first. It's not in the media because it hasn't been put out yet. I'm not even certain that the man is in custody. If he is in custody, I'm wondering if he made bond already. And so again, it seems like it's a move to pacify the crowds more than it is to give this family justice, and it's not something that we're satisfied with. I was confused. I'll start there. Even as an attorney, I've never even heard of third-degree murder, and so I had to look up what third-degree murder actually was, particularly in the city of Minnesota. I'm a federal civil rights attorney, so not a criminal defense attorney, so I'm not that familiar with the criminal statutes. Third-degree murder is an inappropriate charge. It means it was an accidental killing, like manslaughter. The partner charge that they levy. If I get in my car, I get drunk, I don't intend to kill anybody, but it's reckless behavior that could result in somebody's death. That's manslaughter. That's third-degree murder. But when I apply pressure for a sustained period of time to a critical area of someone's throat, and it's all about foreseeability. It's foreseeable that kind of action will result in serious death or bodily injury, so that's murder. I've been asked by Attorney Benjamin Crump, who I partner with on a number of cases, to come in as co-counsel. Right now, our primary goal is to ensure that the appropriate charges move forward, and so we are not satisfied yet. We're looking forward to speaking with the governor on behalf of the family and encouraging him to activate the Attorney General, Keith Ellis, to come in, take over this case and bring the appropriate charges and make the requisite arrests. America's the deadliest police culture in the modern world. There is no nation on the planet that kills and incarcerates more of its people. We are in a crisis position. That's why Attorney Ben Crump and I announced this morning that we are taking these families, the family of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, to Washington, D.C., and we're going to discuss comprehensive police reform. We're also bringing this case before the United Nations Human Rights Council so that we can receive sanctions against the United States for its pervasive and continual denial of basic human rights to the African American community. It was the absolute catalyst for the arrest. Unfortunately, in order to see arrest, to see a semblance of justice, the black community has to squeeze it out of the justice system. And so for Ahmaud Arbery, you saw consistent protests. And in Breonna Taylor, you're seeing persistent protests, and that's the only thing that moves the needle. And that's unfortunate because it should be the letter of the law and the facts that move the needle, but it's just not how it is for the black community. The family is very concerned about the safety of the public. These people are standing up not only for George Floyd, but they're standing up for themselves. They're standing up for the community. But they're doing so by standing up against, again, one of the most brutal police forces on the planet. And I don't mean Minnesota, I mean the American police force in general. They only know 2 things: incarceration and brutality. And so they're concerned that when interlopers come and break things and burn things, that it invites harm to other people's children, and they don't want to see that happen. No, I don't think we're there at the tipping point yet. I think we're getting closer to the edge. I think people are upset all over the country. I was encouraged to see protests from Washington, D.C. to Los Angeles to Atlanta to Dallas. We're getting closer. But until we understand, until we have better leadership and a better strategic plan that people can communicate. I was walking around among this crowd earlier today, and I said, what are you all, I was basically interviewing individuals. I said, what are you fighting for? What are you hoping for? And they said, justice. I said, what does justice look like? And they said, well, that cop should go to jail. Well, that's going to ensure that this happens again in Minnesota. It's going to happen again in California unless we have a more comprehensive, strategic, systematic plan to change the system.